The lights go out on lap 30. Not the race lights, his lights. Every system on George Russell's car, engine, electronics, brakes, everything, dies simultaneously at the turn 8/9 chicane. Not a slow fade, a blackout. He goes from leading the Canadian Grand Prix to coasting into the barriers in under 2 seconds. He climbs out, throws his headrest onto the track, stands alone beside a dead silver car, then hurls his gloves onto the tarmac. Behind him, his 19-year-old rookie teammate inherits the lead. Russell had pole, sprint win, Grand Prix pole. He had done everything right for 5 consecutive sessions across 3 days. He was leading when his engine ceased to exist. So why is it always George Russell's car that dies? Rewind to Australia, round 1. Russell wins comfortably.
George Russell wins the Australian Grand Prix.
The 2026 era looks like his. The man who patiently succeeded Hamilton, finally in the car he deserves, finally in regulations that reward technical intelligence. Then the season turns. China, a gearbox failure in qualifying. Russell starts second behind Antonelli, finishes second. Japan, Russell leads. A safety car, timed to the millisecond, wipes his advantage. Antonelli inherits the win. Then Miami. 4 consecutive Antonelli victories. A 20-point deficit becomes 43 by the time they reach Montreal. Russell had never missed a finish since Silverstone 2024, a streak of 22 consecutive classified results. He arrived in Canada with 43 more laps of that streak, on his best track, in his best qualifying form of the year. Canada is where Russell won in 2025. Sprint pole, Grand Prix pole in 2026. At Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, he is not just fast, he is untouchable. The same circuit where 12 months earlier he described winning as reclaiming something owed. Now the circuit takes it back. The crowd sees 2 silver arrows trading paint for 30 laps. Russell and Antonelli swapping the lead 6 times, locking up into each other. Toto Wolff simultaneously grinning and sweating in the garage. Lap 6, Russell pushes Antonelli into a massive lockup at the final chicane and takes the lead. Lap 12, Antonelli returns. Lap 17, Russell locks up at the hairpin, Antonelli alongside. Lap 23, Antonelli executes a clean move at the final corner. Lap 30, gap building past 1 second. The car goes dark. Toto Wolff's post-race diagnosis was surgical. It was a battery failure. The car was literally going dark. There was no electricity left at all. Under 2026 regulations, F1's power units are now roughly 50% electrical. The MGU-K alone produces over 350 kilowatts, more than 4 times the output of the 2022 generation. The battery system that manages that energy doesn't just store power. It arbitrates every joule across every system simultaneously. Deployment mapping, thermal protection, hybrid recovery, brake-by-wire. Think of it less like a car battery and more like a fuse box running a hospital. The moment one ward draws too much current, everything goes dark. Mercedes confirmed there were no warning signs, no telltale signs, nothing in the telemetry that screamed danger. The failure was not the result of Russell pushing beyond safe limits. It was a catastrophic single-point failure in a system so interconnected that when one element collapsed, it pulled everything else with it. The FIA opened a post-race investigation. The irony is structural. 2026's more electric, less ICE architecture was designed to reduce mechanical failures. More software control, more redundancy. In theory. In practice, it means more ways the lights can go out all at once. But none of this explains what George Russell said standing in the pen, watching Antonelli cruise to the flag.
Disbelief. Feels like somebody doesn't want me to fight or compete for this.
What you need to understand is what Saturday built. Russell won the sprint, but not cleanly. He and Antonelli made contact. Antonelli was pushed onto the grass twice and demanded a penalty over team radio. Wolff cut him off. Then, when Mercedes told Antonelli to hand back position to Russell in Sunday's race, Antonelli snapped back. Russell, meanwhile, told the media that last line, 30 more laps, the exact number he lost. Russell built his entire reputation on being the measured successor. Calm, intelligent, the anti-Hamilton in temperament. The man who would win through precision, not passion. In Canada, for 30 laps, he drove like Hamilton. He defended inches from contact. He attacked with the car sideways. He refused to yield to a teenager half a second behind him. Because this was never just a race for circuit points. This was the moment that decided who leads Mercedes into the future. And Russell knew it. 5 races. 4 Antonelli wins. A 43-point gap built not through Antonelli being faster every single lap, but through Russell's weekends ending early, through safety cars arriving at the wrong lap, through batteries going dark without warning. Russell said afterwards, "Right now, it's his to lose." He said the gods don't want him in this fight. He said the pressure is off. He said he has nothing to lose. None of those things are true. All of them are coping mechanisms spoken by a man who outscored Antonelli by 169 points last season and now trails by 43 after 5 rounds. The math still works. With 449 points remaining across 17 weekends, the gap is recoverable. Last year, Piastri held 34 points over Norris with 9 races left and still lost. The season is young, but here is what the season is revealing. Not about reliability, not about power unit architecture, not about battery management software. Russell's greatest weakness might be his greatest strength. The racer he buried under 4 years of corporate patience came back in Montreal, drove with everything, refused to manage, refused to protect, loved every inch of it. The car ended his race, not his judgment, not his pace, not the rookie. The question now, the one that has no comfortable answer, isn't whether George Russell can close 43 points. It's whether the version of George Russell that could close it is the same version that keeps ending up standing on the side of the track, watching someone else take everything he came to win.